Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? This is your boy Nonsense Nap here today to bring you a Chicago Bears Seattle Seahawks post-game review. And starting it off again, I'm going to be doing these little memes. This one, you got Kevin Hart on here. Believe in something even if it means, hey man, I'm down here. Just do it. Got it on the Nike sign, that's kind of funny. Yeah, hope this brightens up somebody's day. This is one of the few ones that help brighten up mine. Just the little things out here. And speaking of little things, that's exactly what the Bears did. The little things well, as far as executing. Sheer defense is what pretty much willed this team to the win against the Seattle Seahawks. But yeah, man, what you got here is this last pick of Danny Trevathan against Russell Wilson, pretty much stripping him on that the last few seconds, not the last few seconds, excuse me, but the last quarter, fourth quarter, which pretty much stipend the Seahawks for having to come back, because without that happening and that interception by Prince Amakamun, I'm gonna just say Prince, Bears potentially have a loss in this column. So defense definitely stepped it up and did their thing. But before I get into the recap, the four things from my pregame review is what I was highlighting, what needed to be done. Trubisky needed to play well. Essentially, he needed to find the end zone via the air, along with the fact to play full 4 quarters and make sure that they actually solidify this win. So we could check that off as a job well done. I said the running backs needed to be more involved in the game as far as rushing. That was not the case, so we're still going to leave that unchecked. Defense played all 4 quarters, as you can see. And for those that didn't, they played all 4 quarters. Did a hell of a job, so we could check that one off. And special teams, and that was something I was leaning for. I was hoping Tariq essentially got a touchdown in, but he didn't. But he did have some good yards. Averaged 15 yards per return. That's still a good average as far as return yards. So you kind of want to be in the upper 15s, 20s, 25s to be real good averages. But it's still a good job, so check that off as well, too. So 3 out of the 4 isn't bad. Put you at about 75%. So we're going to bump it up to about 80. I give them a B grade overall for this game. So just getting into a little bit of what this game detailed. Bears again, starting drive, score a touchdown. So they've done that twice over the past 2 games on their initial drive. Scored a touchdown. So as far as talking among some of my guys, some of my friends out here, because it's scripted, I believe that's why Mitch does such a good job. Because downs after that, we don't have the most success. He did kind of, nip that in the bud in this particular game with throwing 2 touchdowns via the air. One to Trey Burton early on, since that was the first drive. 3-yard touchdown there. And then again to Anthony Miller, I think about a 5-yard or 7-yard touchdown catch to the side of the end zone. And both great plays. That particular drive in the third quarter to Anthony Miller, I feel like that's what the Bears needed. It was a mix of run via pass, and it was power plays. It was plays that would benefit for the running back. But Mitch did do a very good job as far as getting the ball down the field. Time of possession, they held the rock. They did a great job. Overall, they did a very good job in this game. But breaking it down quarter by quarter, first quarter, Seahawks had the ball first. I expected Seahawks to come out and maybe not score on their first drive, but at least put some pressure on the Bears, and they didn't. A couple drives, a couple plays throughout the drive seemed like they were going to do something, but Bears defense held, and that allowed us to get a quick score on our first possession early on, and that kind of set the tone for the Bears. Throughout that quarter, it remained 7-0, and late in the second quarter, the Bears put up some more points on the board with Cody Parkey field goal, so they went to the half at 10-0. But within that Bears defense recorded 5 sacks in the first half. a few forced fumbles, a whole bunch of tackles for loss. Like that defense was swarming. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, this is reminiscent of Green Bay. First half, we're doing a real good job. You can't get complacent. We can't lax. We can't get, again, lazy as far as like in the second half. And they didn't. They kept the same rhythm, picked it up a little bit more. And that's essentially what we needed throughout their defense. So with Mitch and the boys on the offensive side of things, they consistently did well throughout the whole game. They kept the ball moving up the field. I think they Bears punted, I think maybe like 2 or 3 times. And I got the stats here. We're going to get to that and check those. But I think we punted maybe like 2 or 3 times throughout the game, and that's not bad. So that means we at least got good ball movement up the field. We're able to essentially produce, get first downs, and that's essentially what you want out of it. But third and fourth quarter, we added on a couple more points, and that's what solidified the game for us. A defensive touchdown, again, with Prince intercepting. The ball just jumping the route late in the fourth and sealing the deal for us. And before the end, again, that touchdown to Anthony Miller to the side of the end zone. Great catch, great throw and catch. So I feel like once Mitch gets in a good rhythm, he'll be a lot better. I mean, that's just what it is. It just takes time, but once he gets in that good rhythm, I feel like we'll be solidified and fine there. But I just want them to involve Jordan Howard and Tariq a little bit more in the offense. I feel like once we do that, we'll be able to really assert ourselves as probably like top 5 in this league. Because a lot of people leave us out, and I don't understand why. We had top 10 defense last year, and adding Khalil Mack, we literally are putting ourselves in the top 5, if not top 3. So, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, everybody has essentially to beat us, because I'm saying we're going to be Super Bowl champs. So, but I know I got a little distracted. I apologize, but bear down. Looking at the stats here, again, you can see in the final score of the game, Bears 7-0 in the first. Both had field goals in the second quarter, going 10-3 into the half. Neither scored in the third. I apologize. I thought Anthony Miller got that in the third. He got it early in the fourth quarter then. And both scored 14 points in the fourth. Bears got to do a better job making sure solidifying that we can't let them come back and score points late in the fourth. I know they got tired. Seahawks pretty much did a lot of hurry up offense. That kind of like fatigued the Bears a little bit, but you got to use those timeouts. Nagy holds on to those timeouts. Against the Packers, he used them early first half and held on to them in the end. But we gotta utilize those timeouts when need to. So, but all in all, Bears win 24-17. I said I think the score was gonna be 34-14. I called it. They almost had a chance to get a safety. They just missed it a couple times. So, but yeah, close in scoring, but just still off. But you can see here total plays between the two teams. Both did over 60 plays. Total yards with the Seahawks is 276. 5-yard difference with the Bears. Penalties. Bears had a lot more penalties in this game. 7 for 55 for the Seahawks. 5 for 37. Both had 2 turnovers. Third down efficiency, 5 for 13, 5 for 12. And the Bears completed a fourth down. Passing wise, still a little bit more heavy on the passing. 34, essentially over 30 attempts for Trubisky again. Personally, I'd rather him around 20-25 and getting the ball to more Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. But I'm assuming Nagy has, an idea of what he wants to do with this. So I'm putting this judgment in his hands. But 185 yards there, and then 202 yards as far as passing for the Seahawks. Both had 2 passing touchdowns, 74-yard rushings for the Seahawks, 86 yards rushing for the Bears, 0 rushing touchdowns between the two, and then the time of possession again, 25 minutes for Seahawks, 34 minutes for the Bears. It's a great job for the Bears controlling the clock, maintaining the time, and making sure, they essentially, again, certain themselves as far as like we're going to win this game. And that's exactly what they did. We can see here the stats passing, 25 for 34 for Mitch, 200 yards passing, 5.9 yard average, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The interceptions, I think it's Shaquille Griffin, and I apologize if I got the name wrong, but one of the twins. First one, ball was heavily underthrown. You got Allen Robinson, one-on-one matchup, throw the ball up towards the sideline, kind of a little bit away, making sure he's the only one that's going to get that ball. Or I'd rather you throw it further upfield to where it, makes him go get it. But he threw the ball underneath, and that's what essentially got the interception. And the second one, I thought he was going to go to Anthony Miller because he broke off. But he was going to Allen Robinson again underneath, and they got tipped up by one of the linebackers, and essentially Griffith right there to get another interception, diving catch for another interception. I mean, it was just a great play on the defense, so you can't knock that one. But the first one you got to do a better job of, and the second one you got to make sure that the personnel where you're throwing is not heavily covered. Again, Anthony Miller was coming across up top, doing like a post route, going all the way across field. So I mean, he was pretty much good on that. So just gotta make sure we do a better job. Mitch does a better job as far as like seeing the vision on that, knowing where guys are and making the right play. Running wise, Trey Burton 1 attempt for 2 yards. Tariq Cohen 4 attempts for 8 yards. Taylor Gabriel 3 attempts for 17. Jordan Howard 14 for 35, and Mitch 5 for 24. So obviously a mix of backs back there. Taylor Gabriel being a wide out, getting the touches 3 times. Trey Burton being a tight end, getting the ball 1 time. That was on one of Nagy's trick plays, having him rotate in at the quarterback while Mitch goes out of wide receiver, and you got both Jordan and Tariq on each side of them, so you don't know who's getting the ball. So defenses, I don't know how you even scheme for that, to be honest with you. Excuse me. Could look at it as a regular quarterback out there with a tight end, but who the heck knows? I mean, they doing a good job as far as like having different variety of plays, and I like that. But I just think they just need to incorporate more of that run to essentially take the pressure off of Mitch Trubisky. All in all, I think that'll help maneuver the offense a lot better. But receiving wise, Bellamy, nice to see him out there. Got 1 catch for 6 yards. Trey Burton 4 for 20 and a touchdown. Tariq Cohen 1 for 17. Taylor Gabriel 4 for 30. Jordan Howard 3 for 33. Anthony Miller 2 for 11. The rookie with his first touchdown on the game, and then Allen Robinson 10 for 83 yards. Just great job for the receiving core. Not too many drops I saw out there. They're doing a good job looking the ball in, securing the ball. Not too many fumbles on the Bears end. I didn't see any of that game. They just got to get some yak, fight for the extra yards, get upfield. So we'll see how that weight room's playing out for these guys as far as in the offseason. I know a couple people coming off injuries, still some young guys. So definitely second season with this core group of guys, we'll see a difference. But as far as right now in this particular season, it's good to see, consistency. You can see reps paying off. But just wanting to, to see a little bit more effort out of the wide receiver groups, more blocking, see a guy on the field hit him, looking to hit somebody type deal, and just, fighting for extra yardage. So hopefully we'll get to see Javon Wims with that. We missed him the past couple of games. I'm not too sure if he's hurt or why he's been inactive, but hopefully we'll get him in the rotation here pretty soon. We got the defense here. Essentially, and I apologize, people got cut off. Adrian Amos with 4 tackles. Prince had 4 in that interception for a touchdown. I'm going to highlight some people here. Kyle Fuller again got beat on another long touchdown. Just bad positioning. Eddie Goldman with another sack. Eddie Jackson had a sack this game and a forced fumble. Obviously, Khalil Mack ended up with 5 total tackles, 1 sack and 1 forced fumble again. That's back-to-back games. And then Danny Trevathan. I essentially really did a good job against the Seahawks, having 8 total tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. And again, that was the image you saw earlier. That was him essentially stripping Russell Westbrook, which allowed Leonard Floyd to recover that football. He was out there everywhere, this game. Last game was Khalil Mack. This game was kind of Danny Trevathan. So we're getting a lot of blitzes from different guys, a lot of pressure from different guys, and the defense is looking really well out there. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about the defense. They did a hell of a job. Can't break down in the fourth. That's about the only thing. But they did a hell of a job. Kick return yards. Anthony Miller, two returns for 15 yards, and then Tariq Cohen, 4 for 58, so that 14.5 average. Kind of want to be on that higher 15 average end for Tariq as far as punt returns. Cody Parker had that 1 for 25, and Pat O'Donnell punted the ball 5 times, for 206 yards. I thought he only did it 3. Excuse me. But that's not bad. Out of a series 5 times, I would rather not punt the ball at all and just secure a touchdown or points. But push come to shove, we need to. I know Pat's done a real good job with the Bears, so it's real good as far as like positional punting and real good as far as getting depth as well too. Doesn't shank too many punts. So special teams wise did a real good job last night as well. Cody Parker being young, still making field goals. Essentially, he's looking like a young Robbie Gould out there going, I believe, 4 for 4 or 3 for 3 so far in these past 2 games. So, but yeah, overall, again, grade for the Bears would be a B. Offensively wise, did a real good job. Defense was even better. Not too sure what you all thought about the Bears game against Seahawks. What you guys think down below, where you guys see improvements at, what needs to be done. What do you think as far as, players of the game? For me, defensively wise, it's 2. Obviously, Prince with a touchdown and Danny Trevathan. On the offense, I'm going to have to give it up to Mitch. Mitch did his thing on the offensive side of the ball, making sure, kept the cool head, constantly keep moving the ball upfield. Also, making it to where we can get some receiving touchdowns and some rushing touchdowns. So hopefully we get the rushing next game. But, he did a good job as far as taking what the defense gave him. Still got to get a little bit better at it, but that's my MVP for the offense. But let me know down below what you guys, who was your MVP, who was, a standout player for you just in general. What you guys thought about the game, again, where improvements can be made. What you expect against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm hoping for a real good game for the Bears again. I would honestly like to see a shutout. With the Bears, and I think they could do that defensively. I know David Johnson is somebody to look out for, but it is what it is. Receiving wise, they still got Larry Fitz over there, but they don't really have too many weapons. So I'm hoping to see Bears kind of take advantage, and this game really showcasing we are who we thought they were type game. Granted, it's early in to say we're not undefeated. 1-1, but to put a staple on things like Matt Nagy, yeah, we are who we thought we were. So we're this team. We're this team that's going to dominate and defecate on every team out here. That means we're going to dominate every team and shit on every team out here. Okay? So that's what I'm hoping the Bears do against the Arizona Cardinals. Pretty much make that staple and point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to do a pregame for that as well. But let me know what you guys think as far as that game coming up and what to expect. What are your thoughts on that? But always remember, this is the channel that's going to bring you content, whether truth or lie. It's your discernment to know if it's fact. But hey, it's always fact because it's coming from nonsense now. You feel me? Everybody be safe out there. Peace. Bear down.